Good afternoon and welcome into Drag Race Central. I'm your host, Randall Shue.
And I'm your coach, Landon Shue.
Landon, it's going to be another exciting day. It's kind of cool outside.
It's more than chilly. I'll say
Not a whole lot of racing going on.
It might be taco soup out there. It's just so chilly.
You do know that the taco soup was in the crock pot when we left the
I
house.
saw that.
I went by and, I went to Wally World to get stuff for chili.
Mm-hmm.
This should be easy. Wally World has decided that every couple of weeks to rearrange the whole store. So everything I know where it is, it doesn't exist anymore.
You're right. It's gone forever.
It's gone. Used to be all the canned goods on one aisle. Nope, can't have that. They spread them things over. Anyway, I finally had to ask somebody where. So when I was trying to get chili stuff,
Hang on now.
What?
You asked somebody?
I asked directions.
Wow.
So I asked about chili stuff. I ended up with taco
Taco soup.
stuff. So anyway, that's okay too. But turns out, that I reached up and got 2 packs of it. So Hottie says, "Look, one of these is regular and one of them's hot." Well, it's in the same bucket. Anyway.
Now, hey, I one time asked somebody, and we got a very heated discussion about that. What's the difference between taco soup and chili?
Beans.
Mm-hmm.
Corn. I think.
Corn. Okay.
Okay.
Can I put corn in my chili?
If you want to, you can put whatever you want to in your chili.
So you see my dilemma there. It's the same thing.
No, I think taco soup is more soupy, more thin.
Right.
Has a broth instead of a.
I think that depends how you take it, man.
But
I've made both before, and that's how we differentiate.
Look, you put chili spice in there, or you put taco seasoning.
All right,
in
now
there.
here,
That's
now
the
look,
only
Tastes
difference.
kind of the same, though.
I've
Yeah,
got
you're right.
to offer this. Now, look, I know I'm butting in. I got to offer this. Either one of them on a bed of rice is unbelievable.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. Won't give you heartburn either. That's cha-ching.
That's it.
Or any other problems that chili has a tendency to do. Anyway, let's talk about some race stuff. Only 2 weeks from today, we will be at the World of Wheels, broadcasting live on location, right in the middle of World of Wheels. I can't wait. I'm excited about that.
Hey, it's gonna be a good time.
Yes, it is. We always meet a lot of our listeners. We want to make sure everybody comes by, and we come on at 4 in the afternoon. Come by, and we will be broadcasting right in the middle of all the chaos. Come by and aggravate us. We'll talk to you on the air. It's not near as intimidating as it sounds.
Now, in our 7 years, we've taken off 1 year of World of Wheels, and we still went.
Yes, we did.
2020, we didn't go.
Well, they didn't have it.
No. It was so it was 2019.
Okay.
We didn't go as a show, but we still went.
All right. We didn't have a show there, but we've been doing it for several years now, and I was handpicked. Thought I was Bobby Allison one time. That was really, really funny.
That man was excited.
He wanted my autograph, and I thought, well, okay, I'll do that. He thought I was Bobby Allison, who was standing across the aisle from me. I could hit him with a rock easy.
So if you were in front of this, what happened is essentially you were in front of somebody, and they said, "Hey, where is Bobby Allison?" And we were pointing over your shoulder to Bobby Allison.
Can we have his autograph?
And then he dropped everything when he saw that we were pointing in your general vicinity. He was so excited.
Well, I was talking to one of our listeners. Well, I turned. This guy wants your autograph. I thought, okay. He had a red car of some sort. I think it was a Corvette.
It was a red Corvette.
One of these little model things. Anyway, it was a die-cast. Well, I signed my name to the front on the hood of his car. I keep a Sharpie in my pocket for just kind of this. Anyway, never can tell when these opportunities come up. So anyway, I got a Sharpie in my pocket.
You thought it was the best day of your life.
Man, this life is good. So in this process, he said, will you sign one for my wife? I said, well, certainly I will. He said, we used to come out to the fairground and watch you race. I thought, uh-oh. So I did the only thing I could. I signed Bobby Allison to her card. He never knew the difference.
I bet he after a while he started looking at that car and he was just like,
who is this?
Who's that?
Well,
like, I know Bobby Allison, but who is that?
Wonderful thing is, can't read my writing, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So, in that case, I actually should have been a doctor. Can't read squat. Hey, Landon, you know why you can't read stuff on their scripts?
Why?
is in Latin. Duh. I thought that's the stupidest, but it's in Latin. That makes sense.
I actually used to work with a pharmacist. I said, "How do you read the squibblies?" He's like, "Sometimes I just call them." He said, "It's like their handwriting is in Latin, but it's terrible." He said, "Sometimes I just call them like, hey, what'd you write down here?"
Well, having a script pad's kind of cool, I guess.
Yep.
Anyway, Whirl Wheel's coming up to only 2 weeks. I'm excited about that. I've got a little road trip planned next Sunday.
Yeah, you're leaving me.
No, I'll be here on Saturday, but on Sunday.
I thought you were leaving on Saturday.
No, we were leaving on Sunday. Going to ride the train to New Orleans.
Sunset.
Sunset Limited.
Yeah.
Anyway, whatever it is, going to ride the train down there. Leave out about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Get there at 9 or 10 o'clock at night, and stay a couple of days and come back home.
Okay.
Never done that.
I plan to do it at some point in the near future when it's warmer.
It's cheap.
$77 was a round trip I found at one point.
What a bargain! I think I paid $59 each.
Yeah.
So it's anyway, that's coming up, and I'll have a real report on it.
It being 20 right now, I don't want to do a lot. I'm doing the backpacking trip. I'm not doing any backpacking at 20.
No. No, I don't believe I'll backpack all the way to the car. You had a backpack on when you came in the house.
I sure did. Wore it all the way in here.
Man, that's some
Stay prepared.
high-tech stuff.
That is what I travel in. That little backpack.
That sounds right. Today's we're going to talk about. The last 3 weeks we've had a theme, and today we've got a brand new theme. We had extra car parts you might need, and we had stuff for a trailer. Today we're going to talk about extra parts you need at the house, just in supplies.
Shop supply.
It hit me this week. I did some porting work. I did some grinding to an intake, and I can't imagine how bad I've messed it up. But the holes are bigger. So I put my intentions were to put my 2.4s on. So I got 2.4s out, got them bolted down, torqued down, and actually an intake is supposed to be torqued down. Didn't learn that just not long ago. But anyways, a 3/8 bolt is torqued to approximately 22 foot-pounds of torque. And you never, if anybody ever asks you what the torque specs are, look in the book. You never give an answer.
Right. Never.
You can
never
make a
try to memorize
mistake.
them.
Your book will not make a mistake.
Absolutely.
So,
Same thing with timing chains.
Yep.
Doing timing belts.
Always look in the book.
I found my timing belt for the green car, and we are going to find the book.
Yep.
I'm not going to take the internet's advice. I'm going to find a book.
We got books.
Good.
They're in the under the work table in the basement.
Because the internet could bring you up a different engine that's very similar.
That's it.
And you've broken everything.
Yes, it will. Anyway, I had this incident late at night that the end of 2.4 barrels end up. It's a Dart Pro 1 CNC ported. I mean, this is a nice piece.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I got it on there, got it bolted down, torqued it. Everything's good. Started assembling the top part of it. The back carburetor would not go on. Well, it's almost under the windshield. My choices were take the Sawzall and cut all the stuff out of the way that was in my way. And I thought, you know what? I don't think I'm going to do it because you can have a material shrinker, but material stretchers are hard to come by with. So putting in parts, so I know I'm not going to do it. I pulled it back off, and I ground out my single 4-barrel intake, and a couple of the ports were 281 thousandths too small.
I still haven't decided if I'm either proud of you or ashamed of you.
What? What'd I do?
Before I've seen you cut 3 holes in a car just to figure out where you wanted to put the exhaust.
I would do that. This is a different animal. 55.
The 280Z had 3 different ports put in the side of the car for where you're going to do exhaust. So you had
them babies look good.
Front fender, it was a front of the front fender, back of the front fender, and then through the underneath the fender.
Oh yeah. Well, you had to go through the skirt to get to that. Anyway,
yeah, so there was a big hole.
Hey, a
there.
4-inch hole cut on. Yeah, but a 4-inch hole, that wasn't that big a deal. So I got my intake ground out. Some of the ports. This is a Dart Super Victor. This is the cheese, everything. But these things are designed to port to your port size. That's what they're, so there's extra material.
Yeah.
Some of the ports were 281 thousandths of an inch too small. So that means 1/4 inch. So I ground out a 1/4 inch on each hole and blended them in with Scotch-Brite on a flapper disc with a Scotch-Brite, and actually turned out pretty good.
On a smaller motor, that'd pick up a lot.
Well, I hope so. It's 605 inches, so now you can look down the hole. Let me tell you, you can see the valve. So it really opened up the passages. But all right, so I get this thing up and operate. I cleaned it up. I blew it off, rinsed it with water, filled up a bucket with soapy water with warm. I cleaned it, put it in. Everything's good. Bolted on there. When I was filling up water, I happened to look at it. It was leaking water out the back of the intake. When I was doing this project, I did not have an extra set of intake gaskets. Of course, they might as well give me, it'll work. I've done this a jillion times. I know it'll work. Landon, it won't work.
Really?
So I pulled
No,
the intake.
not that it won't work. It just didn't.
It didn't work. I had RTV. I had all I had all the good stuff. I put some red. I put some black. Anyway. So I pulled it off, and shoot, I'll run get me a gasket. So I went up Gardell Performance. Hey, I need I've been going so much. It's a serve yourself. Walked back there and got me some big block intake gaskets. And I thought, this kind of odd. He had some stock type gaskets. The aftermarket did away with the top 3/8 bolt in between the two intake passages to make them bigger. I took that thing off. I said, this ain't going to work. So it turns out I need some 1275 gaskets. Jimmy said, "Oh yeah, I'll get you." So he ordered me some. Then we had storms come in, and we're not going to be able to get them, and I want my car together. So I went up to see the guys up in Napa. I said, "I need a 1275 gasket." They said, "Have you one tomorrow?" So sure enough, the one I got ordered from Jimmy, it came in 1275. He got me an S. It has some steel stuff in it. Mm-hmm. So I got the regular 1275 from Napa, put it on, everything's good. Now I have an extra set of intake gaskets, which is very, very desirable. With availability of parts, and we've had some issues getting stuff.
Yeah.
Having some stuff around that you need is awfully important, because you're never going to have a problem till about 10 o'clock at night. You're trying to get something together, and then there's one doesn't exist.
Hey, speaking of Napa, somebody from Napa's listening. Their website's broken. I tried using it today to do some price checking on a water pump for the old green car.
Really?
Not working.
Well, they'll get that thing up and operating.
Oh yeah.
So we got a Napa employee listening.
It's possible.
That'll work. All right, we're going to go ahead and take us a break. We'll be right back on Drag Race Central. Welcome back in to Drag Race Central. I want to offer this 205-941-1011. Should anybody need to straighten us out about anything, that happens a bunch. We need straightened out.
Hey, speaking of other things you can do is our Facebook page.
Yes.
We have Facebook Live going right now. 101.1.
Hey, wave everybody.
Wave at them.
You waving?
There we go.
That's
Figure out
scary.
my angle. 101.1 Drag Race Central.
We are Facebook Live right
Facebook
now.
Live right now.
Couple other things going on.
I saw. One thing I wanted to mention is I don't think it does it live, but I did see where you can get auto captions on it. You can watch some of our ones we recorded.
Oh.
And you can get subtitles on it.
So you're saying my English is that poor?
It probably is. We are Southern.
Well, remember, I'm speaking, not writing. Now, if I was writing it, they'd think that's hieroglyphics. I broke my hand when I was a kid, about 7th, 8th grade.
I can tell.
And broke my left hand. Can imagine I was fighting. But anyway, I lost on top of that. So my hand was in a cast. I couldn't write, so I had to use my right hand. Well, I'm very left-handed. Well, when I was writing when I was getting the cast off, my teacher said, "Look, we need you to keep writing with your right hand because we can actually read it." Mm-hmm. Oh, I didn't do it. I went right back to my scribbling left hand. Just so bad I can't even read my writing.
So your handwriting's better on your non-dominant hand.
Yes, because I had to work hard.
Yeah, you had to pay more attention.
Well, hey,
put more effort in.
When you was a kid, when I tore my right knee up playing basketball, you
thought you could dunk.
I was dunking, at 42 years old. Bad idea. Don't do that. Well, they told me that I would not be able to drive. I said, "Why is that?" They said, well, your right leg's messed up. I said, well, let me tell you something. My left leg's just as smart as my right one. And I said, so people that lose their right leg, they can no longer drive? Well, that's not what we said. I said, yes, it is. Now I've lost part of my left leg. Hey, I still drive fine. But you can't drive them.
Yeah. I drove for about a year with one arm, a manual at that.
Oh, yeah.
Manual transmission, one arm. That was fun.
Let me see what I got.
Should get going there.
All right. Getting back to what you need, put it in your list. All right. We talked about gaskets. How about wheel and rear end bearings? Now that's wheel bearings for the front end. It's going to be a BR3 or a BR2 and a BR3. There's not really, and actually you can go to a precision bearing. Have you seen these things where you reach and turn, spin the wheel, you walk on, go do something, come back and it's still spinning?
Yeah.
That's a precision bearing. Of course, there's obviously no brake load and all that stuff, but precision bearing there is a difference in the quality.
Oh, yes.
Rear end bearings, you'll very seldom need, but when you change the gear ratio, having an extra set of bearings, especially your pinion bearings, the rear bearing on the pinion, it's easy to mess up. That's where your
Hey, for your lifted truck guys, keep a spare hub with you. Just a whole hub.
yeah, because they'll come apart.
Come apart.
How about some gear oil? Make sure you've got extra gear oil. That's something you don't think about when you're doing stuff. Oh my gosh, I'm out of gear oil.
We had somebody comment on Facebook, and I've been needing her all week.
Oh,
Donna, Miss Snack Lady. We've been needing snack. Stuck in the house with the boy,
no snacks.
and he'd shoot through all the snacks we had. I needed Snack Lady there with those little sandwiches.
Oh,
Yeah,
good Lord, yes. Lana and I've decided. Now this, I'm old, but I've decided. Your beans and taters and hamburger meat and chicken and shrimp and all that kind of stuff you got in the freezer. Who cares? If you run out of snacks, it's devastating.
You have nothing to eat then.
Oh, it's awful. You'd have to cook. You're not hungry, but man, them snacks or something. So, Snack Lady, think about us when you're doing that.
You make those tiny sandwiches. I'll give her a heads up. I will be hungry during the World of Wheels.
Yes, Donna.
Now I'll have to pick them up through the exhibitor entrance because you can't bring food in through the normal entrance.
Well, remember, we're going to meet Donna William at the exhibitor entrance with a pass. We got some passes.
As payment, we need some sandwiches.
It's not even payment because we like them to hang out with us, and they'll come down. We'll
I'm trying
give
to
them.
extort her right now. Okay.
What's that?
I'm trying to extort her.
Oh yeah,
Get them sandwiches.
we'll do that. We miss Donna. With racing not going on, we like to hang out with her. William, they awful fun to be
yes.
around. All right.
Hey, and we got hit. You just upgraded his race car.
I did. Lennon had an idea. This time of year, there's not much going on, and as you can imagine, my poor mind runs rampant.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the things there may be some value. Almost all things there's no value. But anyway, these 10.5 races are going on. What do you think about putting a pair of 10.5 tires on the 55? That's the only rule. It's got to be a door car and got to be 10.5 tires.
I think it's fair.
I'm thinking that may happen.
Now, up until recently, that's all what the Street Outlaw guys were doing. Jeff Lutz, that's all he did. His Pro Mod 10.5s.
Well, now the Corvette with 10.5 is going to look funny. It's going to look. We'll have to put some fender skirts on it for it to look normal.
Now here's another question: Can I have dualies? 2 10.5 tires on each side.
Well, there's a guy did that. How about there was a an all-wheel drive C10 truck that had 10.5s on all 4 corners.
That's what you need.
Trouble is, that old boy wrecked that thing so many times. When it take off, the back tires
go hard right.
did their thing, but the front tires would start bouncing, and that baby would go left to the right and the left to right. He hit the wall many times. I think they finally got it straight out. He had a blown Oldsmobile. When I say it's not the old, but it's like a funny car type motor.
Right.
Some good stuff in it. So anyway, I think he finally ran in the high 3s, which that's pretty good.
Yeah.
He didn't spend
Especially for
about
all-wheel drive.
$30 million doing that.
Yeah, all-wheel drive. That's hard.
All right, it's gear oil. We talked about gear oil. Next thing, some wheel studs and a set of nuts to go on them.
Yep.
Wheel studs are, you can cross thread one. You can all the kind of things that the threads get boogered up. Make sure you have some extra wheel studs and nuts. How about the valve stem and some valve cores and the tool, of course, that goes with it.
The tool.
Uh,
I wish anybody the best of luck to put a valve stem in without the tool. I don't think it's possible.
it's not much fun. It can be done. It ain't much fun, but that tool makes it easy.
Oh yeah. Use a pair of pliers with it too.
Uh-huh.
Pops right
There's
out.
actually a tool that your weight pliers actually pull that through good. That's what it's for.
Okay.
There's a set of weight pliers. And I got some, and I think they're on the bottom of the balance machine. I'll have to show them things. All right, a case or at least several cans of brake clean need to be around the house. There are two different types of brake clean. One in a red can, one in a green. The red can is flammable. The green can is not flammable. So that is an idea. Some of the alcohol cars won't crank cold. You can spray them with the red brake clean. It'll fire right up.
Yeah. I have used the wrong kind before.
But if you put the green, it don't care because it won't crank.
Yeah, I've used the wrong kind before.
Let me see. How about this is a big one, a bolt bin.
Bolt bin. I thought we were getting down to the actual big one.
What? Bolt bin. You need
Bolt bin's big.
SAE and fine thread, nuts and bolts, some self locking, some washers. Make sure you get in that bolt bin. Place like M&D Supply, or there's a lot of these places around. You can buy the bins full of bolts, and it was $200 or $300, and what a bargain! And then each one of the bins are lettered and numbered, so when you get low, you'll know what to buy. What was your big one?
The giblets.
Let me see how far the giblet. No,
You're not there yet?
no, I'm two away.
Okay, keep going.
The next one is axle grease.
Axle grease, yes.
Not just axle grease. Grease is in several different type of stuff. Now, grease has something. We have weights and oil, and AWs in hydraulic fluid. Grease is in fracture rating.
Right.
A fracture rating is how it handles its ability. Like the fifth wheel grease is red, where you put your trailer on it in the fifth wheel. It is a different grease than wheel bearing. Mm-hmm. The way it handles the load and pressures and all this stuff. So make sure you use use axle grease for bearings and that kind of stuff. And then there's a Lubriplate. Mm-hmm. And I told you I had a gallon of it. Went down there. It's called Lubriplate. It is a waterproof grease. So you use it on the bearings in your boat trailer.
Now, one thing I don't know if I'm adding this or if it's on there. Assembly grease, the green assembly grease.
No, assembly lube. That is for assembly transmission. That's actually a Vaseline-based product.
That when you need that
is great
you
stuff.
have to have it, and you will never use a lot of it.
Yep.
Ever.
Did I give you a tub of it?
Yes, and I've used about it 3 times.
I've still got a tub at the house and just a little dab of you.
Yeah.
You can stick something up and put it in place, and it won't fall down on you. Because it's designed for transmissions.
The greatest part is the lid came off and it doesn't dry out.
Right.
So it just sits there.
Assembly goo.
Yep. That is the stuff right there.
Yep. So it's in a small tub like a axle bearing grease.
Yep.
All right. The next thing. This is Landa's the most exciting thing in the whole wide world. Giblet box.
Giblet box. Or you can have a giblet box,
Or
bucket,
a giblet room.
However much giblets, the giblet outdoors.
You need a giblet tray. That's it. You need a giblet tray in your car trailer.
Yes.
You need one in your shop at home. There's things in there that you run out of stuff. You pour that thing out and start going through it. You'll find what you need.
Yeah.
You never ever throw anything. A bolt and nut that comes off something goes in the giblet box.
Yep.
We're going to talk about some expensive giblets you got a while ago. We're going to go out and take us a break. We'll be right back on Drag Race Central.
Raised drive shafts. They are the guys. And
The guy.
Well, the guy.
He by himself.
I thought
Working hard.
I thought he had an apprentice.
No. Ray is handling it himself.
Okay. Well, Ray's your man. Drive shafts you need front drive shaft, rear drive shaft, 2-piece drive shaft. He's a drive shaft man.
Freight trucks,
Freight trucks, semis.
giblet trucks. No giblet
No
trucks.
giblets. I tried to get a giblet off him one time.
Okay.
He said that part didn't exist, and he was right.
How about a phone number and a location?
Yeah, give him a call down at 256-572-7485. Open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Go out and see him at 1417 Decatur Highway in Fultondale, Alabama.
That'll work. Let's go out to one of our favorite callers. Let's go out to Mr. Will. Hey.
Hey, good evening, gentlemen.
Good to see you. Hey, let me ask you this. You're up in
Sure.
the Northwest. Did y'all get any snow and ice?
Man, we got some ice and mainly sleet, but it looks like ice. It didn't get on the trees much, but it's on the ground about an inch to 2 inches around here in Plate. Well, a good inch. And
Is it
it's
still there?
stayed because it's cold.
So it's still there?
We still got some, mainly shaded and driveway there. The roads are pretty clear. There's a few patches here and there, but the roads are still rough, even some of them yesterday.
Well, that's good. Well, it'll get better. Just think it's maybe Tuesday, Wednesday. We're going to get between 3 and 5 inches of rain, so you'll be fine.
Yeah, behind this ice and frozen ground and then 2 to 4 inches of rain, it's going to be really nice.
And it's going to be almost 70 degrees.
Yeah, these mosquitoes and bugs will come out probably.
We know we've heard since I was a little kid, if we don't have a cold winter, mosquitoes going to be bad. Well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. I went to Alaska several years ago, and I can assure you, in Alaska it gets cold.
Yes.
These small mosquitoes will tote you off to keep the big ones from getting you.
Yeah,
I've
heard
never
they're
seen
awful
so many.
large.
If you ever come into downtown Birmingham, and especially in summertime, there is a smog layer about 1,000 foot deep. When you come across a hill, you can see a smog layer. Well, that's what the mosquitoes look like in Alaska,
Just a haze.
as far as you can see. And in about an hour or so, they're all gone. So
yeah, I had some folks that went to church with us, son and the mama, and they lived up in Alaska for a while. Yeah, he had some stories at times.
oh man, on my list of a trip, I want to go to Anchorage Dragway. It's a view
yeah.
with a dragway instead of a dragway with a view.
And they do have a drag strip there.
Oh, I was up there, and they got drag strips. They got airports. What else could you want?
That'd be all right. The warmer weather, maybe.
They're in Anchorage
I
area.
did see the other. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
In Anchorage area, it only is below zero about 2 weeks out of the year. Other than that, it's 30, 40 degrees.
I saw the other day I think Anchorage, Alaska was the temperature that we were supposed to be like a day or two later.
Right.
So, and I heard them fussing about something in New York City the other day. I think it was 12 degrees. Well, the wind chill here was minus 12 when it was 12 in New York.
That's pretty good. Well, I'm glad them Yankees are up there.
I'm looking forward to the World of Wheels, man. I'm going to try my best to get down there with y'all in about 2 weeks.
Well, that sounds good. We're going to do going to be live on Saturday afternoon there from the show.
Good. Yes, I heard you say it a while ago.
We are excited about that. We'll have a lot of our listeners come by and visit, and because Todd from MTO Motors, I think he's going to come out and hang out with us, and
good.
Chris Rutherford and Richard Oettinger is going to have their cars. If you remember,
Probably off the trailer this time.
yeah, 100 years ago, a guy named Hugh Scott did pro mod racing.
I think so.
Well, he was anyway. Chris has got his car now. They redid it, and he was doing some paint work on it. It's a 40 Willis, so that's good. When I talked to him down at Wholesale Transmission 3 or 4 months ago, and we were talking, I said, "Hey, why don't you put your car in the World of Wheels?" He said, "That thing's kind of rough." I said, "You got time?" So I've been catching up with him on the Facebook. He's been wearing it out he's a chassis builder, so fixing stuff is not a big deal, except
Right.
you're so busy with other people's stuff you don't have to find time for your own.
Exactly. Hard to find like a carpenter construction like I do at times. It's hard to find time to work on your own stuff.
Well, you get so sick of it doing it for other people.
Yes.
But anyway,
Yeah.
we'll be excited to see you there. Hopefully we get Donna Williams, the snack lady, and her husband
Right.
down. We hope we get them down visiting with us.
Yeah, I can't remember if I met them. I think I might have. They've been around them a little bit, been there one time, but I don't know if I've actually met them yet or not. I'd like to.
Okay.
And I think the Moulton Speedway, if check the schedule, anybody might be interested. Just listen, thinking about 2 weeks, they're going to try to do a winter race, ice bowl winter race. 2 weeks. Just depends on the weather, how cold, how wet. But be looking for that at the Moulton Speedway in the next, say, 2 to 3 weeks. I heard some chatter about that.
Well, that sounds good. I was just wondering if you had a mud bog race, would it get rained out?
It would have to be pretty bad.
They're going to ice out the ice bowl.
It'd have to be really, really bad.
Well, that's what Landon said. The ice bowl several years ago at Talladega they canceled it because of ice.
Yeah, I think I remember that.
Oh, it was cold having ice. We can't have them rigs in here in this ice.
Hey, there's ice up here. You could spend sitting idle. I made it without putting my truck in 4-wheel drive till Thursday maybe. I think I had to put it in 4-wheel drive Thursday because the road had gotten the crust broke off of it, and it was just about a sheet of ice. So but just to move around a time or two around the yard and stuff here, it was pretty slick. I think I had to put it in the 4-wheel drive once or twice.
Well, I no longer have a 4-wheel drive, and I enjoyed. I don't go mud riding, but man, around the yard and doing stuff, 4-wheel drive is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's handy. I put it in 4-wheel drive. I think just once to go to work, and I was able to get around without it. But it makes a difference if you're not too. Just watch what you do. It does. It is a big help. I've been stuck. I'd have probably been stuck several times without it in the last few years.
Well, my Suburban will get stuck in the car wash, so you can't get off the road in it at all.
Yes, I had a big 1-ton Ford one time. It would get stuck and about wet in an inch or two of grass.
Well, if it dews heavy,
I had to put it in. Thankfully, it was 4-wheel drive.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I could get out most of the time. It was terrible. It needed to have been 4-wheel drive. It was too heavy to not be.
Oh, yeah. Well, we'll keep us in mind. Come down on Saturday afternoon. We'd love to have you.
I'll try my best. I'll try to talk to y'all next week and see you in 2 weeks, hopefully.
All right, bud. Thanks.
Sir.
Thank y'all.
Bye. Let's talk about Skunk Works.
Skunk Works.
We sending some people down. I thought Dominique is about. I think he was going to fire his new Mustang up. Was it yesterday or today?
Okay.
Because matter of fact, he had been up to Ray's and finished up his drive shaft, went and picked it up. Mm-hmm. He said he thought that's the only thing he lacked, being able to fire it up, and he's going to go down to Skunk Works and have them guys have Steve down there do the tuning and actually put them on scales. You can get the chassis set and the whole works.
Now we've been talking today about hooking up a new header and new turbo. Then we're gonna have to take it down there and get dynoed.
This baby is going to make 70 or 80 horsepower. I don't care. Maybe.
Turn it way up.
It's a 2.2 diesel in a RX-7.
Oh, yeah.
This baby is going to be hooning. But with the turbo.
In stock format, I think
64 horsepower at the flywheel.
At the crank. So we're talking 40.
Yeah. A speeding ticket probably wasn't going to happen.
No.
If you passed the tuba guy during a funeral at a school zone, you probably still wouldn't get a ticket.
I get a stern talking to.
He said, "Why'd you stop?" Well, I was speeding. No, you wouldn't. you were doing 8. I thought I was going fast.
Yeah.
Anyway, but go down. Their phone number 205-796-5571. Complete chassis tuning, engine, they do electronic and mechanical injection.
He can actually make your stuff go fast.
He's been fast. Matter of fact, he contacted me. He wanted to put a 481X with a Whipple, a screw blower in the Corvette. I'm thinking, okay, except that a Power Glide's good for about anywhere 1,400 to 1,800 horsepower, and it'll survive at that.
Right.
3,500, it will not survive.
Gotta step it up.
So then you have to go
clutches.
to Now, David Church says I need to put a Bruno's and Lenco in it. You're shaking your head.
Yes.
We might investigate that.
Hey, we have a bell housing.
No, but Bruno is
It's a Lenco.
No. Bruno is a torque converter drive. It's all it is. It drives converter, has a shaft. Mm-hmm. and a Lenco bolts to it.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have a park. When you pull up and stop, you got to put something on the wheel 'cause it'll roll off. Can't park on a hill. Bruno's and Lenco, Bruno's and Liberty. That we might be a player on. There's some toys that have to leave before I stroke that.
I cannot financially afford one right now, but I would love to have a Jeffco.
Yep, but you got to have a clutch.
This is for one
for
of
you.
my project cars.
Okay.
That'd be for the 240.
Well, a regular Lenco will be kind of fun.
Well, this one I could actually drive on the street because
Yeah.
the Jeffco you can downshift in.
Or how about a clutched 400?
Yeah.
You can put a clutch pressure plate and throwout bearing and use a Toro 400 transmission. That's a poor man's Lenco.
Mm-hmm.
It'll go up and down, and you got reverse.
Yeah.
They things kind of went away with torque converter technology. It's just not necessary
Yeah,
anymore.
it's
Of
pretty
course,
good now.
to get a Pro Mod type torque converter, there's several $1,000s. A M&M lockup 400 and converter is approaching $20,000.
Now we still know the guys you can
Ouch.
hook you up with the right torque converter.
We do, except you still got to buy it,
Yeah.
and there's several $1,000s. And there's a room full of torque converters, but not one for this. So anyway, yeah, you have Bruno's, and
No, you've sold 2 of them.
I did.
You getting down to like what 4 torque?
No, there's 5 of them.
5?
5 or 6. Anyway, it's a bunch. But go down and see Skunk Works. He's wanting to put that 481X motor. I don't know. It'll go fast. The motor went 380s in somebody's car. That'll perk that little baby up.
It put that Corvette somewhere.
Yes, it would.
In a
I'm not
ditch.
sure I'm the man to drive it.
I'll try it.
Well, it's a whole different animal.
Oh, absolutely.
But anyway,
That's
that's
something you have to respect there.
yeah, and the maintenance on that thing, good Lord. Every 25, 30 passes, whatever, but a set of rods in it.
Yep.
Crankshaft is $4,000. You got to put a crankshaft in pretty
Hey.
regular.
Speaking of racing Corvettes,
Uh-huh.
we're gonna race your Corvette, or are we just gonna?
Yes.
Is it gonna be yard?
No,
Yard
I'm
is
actually
yard art.
I'm actually going to make some passes.
Okay.
This year, my goal, I'm going to go in the fours, way in the fours.
Okay.
I think
I support it. Let's do
I
it.
think I'm going to swap and put one of my 10-inch converters. I'm going to go up to PTC and have one of the 10-inch converters swapped over for the 700-inch motor.
Now we talked about this for making a video, and we need to get the GoPros for it. We'll GoPro video your first 4-pass.
Okay, we'll do that. Put it on our YouTube channel.
Mhm.
So that's coming up. So I'm going to be I'm going to run 4 something this year.
407.
If I run 407, it'll be a shock.
That'd be more than a shock.
It sure
We would
would.
have known. I want to know what you did to the motor.
200 approaching 200 miles an hour.
Yeah, you did something there.
I know. Let's go out for a break. We'll be right back on Drag Race Central.
Welcome back in. Hey, we're going to talk about something really affects everybody: gas quality,
Or lack of.
lack of. Yes. One thing you don't have to worry about: VP Racing Fuel. They have consistent quality.
You know, we're talking about VP. I was watching a Jay's Leno's Garage the other night.
Okay.
You know, and the guy was on Cycle Drag was on there with him and asked him, how about his motorcycle. And he said, yeah. He said, have you tried one electric? And he said, oh yeah, I got an electric one. He said the power's great and all. He said, I don't think we're there. Nothing wrong with the performance and all that stuff. He said there's some issues we hadn't addressed yet. But he says really, what would be better doing is manufacture fuel. And he never said VP, but I know what he was thinking. He said, now we don't use gasoline in these cars because you cannot guarantee the quality of what you're buying.
Right.
He said you go up and buy the fuel and you know what you bought, but you have no idea of what you're getting.
Mm-hmm.
So they use the VP fuels. Consistent quality. He says now if we do this on a volume for automotive or just for driving,
Right.
the price is coming down. He said, no, we're paying $25 a gallon. He said, obviously that's not going to work. Because when he said that, I said, well, they're buying some race fuel. Because VP is not gasoline. It is fuel. It is a
not.
manufactured product.
It is non-petroleum based.
So all these tree and bunny huggers is top petroleum people. Well, I don't have petroleum. I got I got VP.
It's corn.
It's whatever. No, that's the alcohol. But it's a manufactured product. So if they could ramp up, and you could buy,
And subsidize gasoline.
you could do that and make it where it would be usable, and a cost effective. $2 or $3 a gallon, you would be a lot better off
Oh, yes.
with it. The engines will last better. All the gaskets and seals and all those kind of things would last so much better with a high quality manufactured product than a MoGas, and that's what.
Now, what I told you was I have noticed the winter blend difference for gasoline.
Fuel mileage went to crap for no reason whatsoever.
I dropped somewhere between 6 to 7 miles per gallon in the wintertime.
And it makes no sense whatsoever.
While air quality, the air quality should be better,
Density altitude is better. Yep.
my fuel mileage goes down. It is backwards.
Yep.
That could only leave fuel.
That's.
I
Well,
I haven't changed driving habits. I should still be getting. I click on cruise control for long hauls. Still getting terrible fuel mileage right now.
That is so odd. Now, when I went to GM school for forever, and one of the things, gas mileage is the only way you can do real gas mileage. Of course, now you got computers on cars. 5 tanks.
5 tanks.
You put 5 tanks, run 5 tanks, and do the average is the only way. Because you'll have stop and go and idling and all that stuff, but in 5 tanks you can get a real average of what your car gets.
It's a lot better than my plan for checking fuel mileage on the green car.
We'll just drive till
I'll
it
put a
runs out.
gallon in it and drive it till it runs out and count the miles.
Don't do that. That's a bad idea.
Nah,
Now, we used to have, there was a thing, we have people come in complaining about gas mileage. We had a thing we put in the fuel line that you're riding along and you mash a button, and when 1/10 of a mile, 1/10 of a gallon ran through this thing, a light would click on. So you rig it all up. On the way to work one morning, there was a Cutlass past me. Traffic was awful. She passed me 6 or 8 times. Well, I know that there's no reason for me to go fast because traffic's. Meanwhile, she passed. Well, I got to the dealership. I parked my car, walked over, to get my first car of the day. Look, there's that woman in that Cutlass. Well, I got the ticket on the car and it said poor gas mileage.
driving habits.
I said, well, ma'am, I know some of what's wrong with yours. What? I said, you passed me many times wide on throttle this morning. No, I didn't. I said, come up at 26th Street, didn't you? She said, yeah. I said, you passed me. I said, I got a machine I can put on, and I'll. So 1/10 of a gallon, you would ride along until the odometer on tenths got to 0, mash a button, and if it went 2/10, you're getting 20 miles a gallon.
Right.
I'm riding her car. She's in the car with me. We're riding. I got 2.3 tenths. So, ma'am, you're approaching 25 miles a gallon. No, I'm not. And, well, yes, ma'am, it is. I did it again. Yes, ma'am, this car will get almost 25 miles a gallon. Oh. I said,
With proper driving habits, it does.
you can't start spinning and stop sliding and expect to get good gas mileage. Ain't going to happen. That's kind of like eating Twinkies and Bun Buns and laying on the couch and expecting to lose weight. It ain't going to happen.
It's not. It sure is not.
It's just plain math. So gasoline, VP Racing Fuel. There's several locations to buy that. Get high quality, exactly what you need every time.
Yeah. Not only is it high quality, consistently high quality.
Yes.
And consistency is what
From
matters.
batch to batch, it's the same
right.
thing.
Consistency is what matters, especially when you're running an engine. If you're expecting this horsepower and you continue to use the same thing, you should expect to continue to have
No
that same
tuning issue.
horsepower.
Whatever tuning issues you had will remain the same.
That's right.
And you'd hate to, a Pat Musi 959 is $130,000 or $40,000. So you're going to buy $3 gas to go in a $150,000 motor? I don't think so. You better buy some good stuff.
It won't even be premium.
No,
If it's the $4 gas, it ain't worth it.
you better buy the good stuff.
That's right. I got there NVS Auto, DG Motorsports, Gardendale Performance, Off-Road Connections, Coleman Discount Muffler, and some tracks coming soon because we're getting closer and closer to beginning the season.
Laster Mountains got their schedule out. Let me tell you, I think they've got something scheduled every weekend,
Good.
on and on and on.
You were the face of that place for a while.
I never could figure out how a business could stay in business and not be open. Now, you may or may not make money while you're there, but you'll make zero if you're not there.
Right.
These people are opening the track and hoping people, making sure you got a place to come race.
Oh, yes.
They are open.
Good.
New Year's Day, they had some kind of race going on. It was cold and crappy and raining. Well, I'm not going to go because ain't no way. They got up here and dried that track off. They had the race.
Good.
It was cold. Hey, them people, they're doing a good job.
And what you do is you plant soybeans,
Watermelons, beans, taters, cotton.
rice. Now, because if you're going to have race, it's going
to rain. You'll get plenty of rain.
So you go ahead and plant rice. That way, when you have standing water everywhere, rice will just be happy.
Well, Huntsville's got it figured out. There's a cotton field all around it, probably 300 or 400 acres of cotton right at the track.
Cows, yeah, they got it all. Cows, chickens.
Oh, so anyway, that's
Farmland.
one of the next things we want to talk about. Now, this is a tip I learned.
And for a lot of people who don't know, Huntsville Dragway is coming back.
Yes, they are. Got a first pro mod race April the 27th. How about that?
All right.
Any of you guys that use the shorty headers, sometimes shorties is they're cost effective. They're they're whatever. The negative about shorty, you can't get spark plugs in there. Well, if you finally get the spark plugs in, you can't get plug wires. If you get plug wires on it, they'll burn in no time. So you burn the plug wires off. Now there is a fix for that. What you do is you take a header flange. Mm-hmm. Either you can buy your header flange or cut an old set of headers. Get a header flange. Take you a couple of 3/8 bolts. Cut the heads off of them, and slide a gasket on that header flange, and then another gasket, and then your shorty headers. Tighten them all up, and you'll have about 3/4 of an inch of space on a regular spark plug. Mm-hmm. That is the neatest thing. When I did that, well, that's what that's supposed to look like. That worked out pretty good. So an extra header flange when you bolt the headers up, regular spark. You don't have to use them crazy XL lawnmower spark plugs.
Just use 20 gaskets.
That won't work. You'll blow them rascal out. But you need a flange. But that's a little.
Hey, speaking of gaskets, you tell me about some magic I used to work with two-stroke motors.
Oh my gosh! And you thought what? Two-stroke.
I didn't even understand it at first.
Well, a two-stroke. In order to increase the power, there's a two-stroke motor don't have but 6.5 or 7 to 1. It's real low compression. To increase the power, you can pop the head off of it and take the head gasket out of it.
Yep.
And spray both surfaces with silver paint. Now, there's actually a product that is gold, but regular silver paint would work. Mm-hmm. Torque air Vaseline, and it would raise compression on a two-stroke a bunch.
Just don't need a head gasket. Just put some paint on
there. There's two machine surfaces, so machine surfaces don't really need a gasket. Mm-hmm. But you could pop it, and you talking about perking one up. When the power band would come on, you would take off, and you look, and your motorcycle is about 3 lengths from you because it's unthrowed you out in the air, and then you fix and hit the ground. That's not that much fun.
Hey, that does sound fun. I'll be honest with you.
Then I ended up with a KX400. The 125s I had, you take off, and if they get wound up and get up on the pipe, oh my goodness, them things take off. Well, I ended up with this 400. It did the same thing, except it had a bunch of power on the bottom end. When the power band came on, you could lay your body across the handlebars. It would flip backwards. It was scary.
I've been on bikes like that.
Oh, and this is not like a fast 4-stroke bike like the Hayabusa.
Yeah.
This is, oh my goodness, Landon.
I've been on
there were some guys. We were at a place called the Slate Dumps. They were jumping off this hill. I thought that looks like fun, so I went over there, and they're on 125s. I'm on a 400. I gassed mine. They hit on the downhill slope of this hill. That's just a pretty thing. I came off that thing about second gear. They was come off second gear. I come off a second gear. I missed the hill. I landed on the flat part.
Oh.
My right foot and right arm came off, and you know what hit next.
Yeah.
I couldn't talk for a couple of days. I did everything in the world except wreck. I got that thing stopped. I think I need to go put this up. But a 400 net, it had a Honda had a CR490, KTM had a 520. Landon, these things are wicked. But anyway, so the head gasket trick, head gasket trick on a two-stroke. That was kind of fun.
That's really good.
So anyway, remember World Wheels coming up in 2 weeks.
World Wheels.
We'll be
101.1 Drag Race Central on Facebook, Drag Race Central on YouTube.
yes.
Go out and listen whenever you want. You don't have to listen once a week.
That's it. Listen, you got 40, 50 of them up there. And just remember, the older I get, the faster I'm going to be. We'll see y'all next week on Drag Race Central.